Okay, so I'm a cat person. I use a laser pointer all the time with my cats. I've never gotten into an argument over a laser pointer and shot anybody, but that's what we're going to talk about today. Oh my goodness. It's Stacy Cole, Carol Hughes, Carol filling in for Tony. Tony is off having a life. I
What?
don't even know what he's doing, but that's okay.
He is going to Dallas to see a concert.
Oh, come on. I
And
love I love
and
his life.
yes, and they took the family and they're going to this place called Meow Wolf. That's I don't his daughter and I were looking at it on the internet and it looks like one of the coolest places ever.
Did you just say Meow Wolf?
Yes. And it's like a weird kind of art installation interactive thing. I don't even know how to describe it.
An immersive art experience. I'm looking it up now.
It looks
Wow.
like one of the coolest things ever. And his daughter is so excited. She's 10, and she is so excited about this. So that's what they're doing.
Oh, how fun. Oh, I'm looking it up. Now I'm like super, super jealous. Yes, it kind of ties into what we're talking about today. A little, just a little bit.
Except for
Um,
the murder part.
well, yeah, minus the murder part. So the title of this story is Man Fatally Shot a Pregnant Woman after an argument over a laser pointer that she and a little brother were playing with on the front lawn of their home. This story is out of Ohio, and we'll obviously get into the story a little bit, but I'm trying to figure out what was the deal with the laser pointer. They weren't, I don't think, playing with the cat, but I've got a laser pointer sitting next to me right now just because, if the cat comes by, I grab it and taunt him for a little bit. And then we go about our business. We never get in a fight with anybody over it. The story is a 25-year-old man named Tyrone Hunter from Ohio has been indicted for the murder of a 26-year-old pregnant woman. Her name is Isis Lachey Roseman. The incident occurred last month when Hunter got into a verbal altercation with Roseman and her younger brother over a laser pointer in front of the home in Cincinnati. After threatening to shoot up the home, Hunter left the scene, but then returned later and then fired shots at the house. One of those shots struck the woman and proved fatal. Emergency services rushed her to the hospital, but she ended up dying from those injuries. So I'm just envisioning what they're out in the front yard screwing around with a laser pointer.
That's my guess. And maybe they could have been shooting it into other people's homes, because it's like, hey, let's see if we can get this across the street into their living room. I could see maybe they were doing something like that. That's hardly it could be something that might have annoyed him. Maybe they were doing it at cars driving by. Maybe they did have a cat in the front yard they were playing with.
That's true.
It doesn't matter what nothing called for that response.
No, and I'm really getting concerned, and I know this is we're past the point of being concerned, but it seems like when people are mad, they go get a gun.
Yeah.
And that's where we are in this world. Guns used to be, you would bring them out if there was extreme danger. Or, I'm in Wisconsin, hunting season is every fall. So, that's when guns come out. Now it's like, it's a free for all. Like if you're pissed at somebody, you show up with a gun. And that's not going to end well for a lot of us.
And my guess is I don't know if he was a neighbor, was he just driving by? But there was a fight. I'm sure because it says verbal altercation. And so I'm going to guess it got pretty heated and he threatened him. But then to not just threaten them, but actually leave and I'm assuming get a gun and come back. And I read that they ran into the house and the shot actually went through a window and killed her inside the house.
Yeah.
So by that point, they're in the
not,
house. And
you're not even
shooting.
safe inside your home.
No, and he's still shooting. Like they ran in the house and he's still shooting at the house. So he's like, I'm going to shoot up your house. And he meant it, which is just why? And now he's like, his whole life's over. He's going to sit in prison for years. Maybe he'll get out at some point, but you got to sit there for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Over what?
over, you made a very good point. He may have just been driving by and maybe they pointed the laser at him and he got pissed. That's when you call the police and say, you know what, there's somebody pointing a laser pointer at people driving by or whatever. And that can be dangerous. You don't want to be staring at a laser pointer, so I could see being upset and maybe calling the cops because, that shouldn't be going on. But that's where it ends. You don't take justice into your own hands and be the judge and the executioner here.
Which
that's
is
not
just
how
what he
our
did.
society should be working.
Yep, and that is what he did. And, well, if you continue with the story, because he shouldn't even been out.
There you go. He's been charged with 2 counts each of murder and felonious assault, as well as 1 count of improperly discharging a firearm into habitation and having a weapon while under disability. It was revealed at the time of the shooting that he was out on bond for previous violent felonies and drug-related charges. He has a history of run-ins with the law, and he's been released on a reduced bond despite these concerns.
And by reduced, like really, really reduced, because I pulled up another article about it. So originally his bond was set at $105,000. They have to pay 10% of that. And then he would wear a GPS device upon his release. And then they reduced the bond to $10,000. He was later arrested for robbery. His bond was revoked, but those charges were ignored by a grand jury, which I don't get that. Yeah. The prosecutor said. And then the trial court judge reinstated Hunter's $10,000 bond and removed the ankle monitor requirement prior to his release.
What?
And this is the guy who shot them.
He killed somebody.
I don't think he killed anybody, but it was a violent felony.
Oh, I mean, the second time he
did.
The
second time, yeah, when he got out. So that's on that judge. Like, they reduced that bond from $105,000.
Why is he even in the streets? Why is he? Oh my God, I don't understand this at all.
Now, tell me if I've got this right, because if they reinstated his bond, a $10,000 bond, now he only has to pay 10% of that, correct?
Yeah, which is $1,000.
Mm-hmm. So then that's how he's able to get out. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. The prosecutor expressed frustration over the system's leniency, stating that criminals like Hunter should be kept off the streets and held accountable for their actions. Hunter's defense attorney denied his client's involvement in the crime altogether. Well, then how'd the woman die? Who shot her?
And there has to be a reason why they arrested him for it.
Exactly.
There was witnesses, a video, a license plate, something.
I mean, they could have tested his hand for gunpowder, If he is convicted and found guilty on all charges, he could face life imprisonment with parole eligibility after 24 years. So I don't have any words. I don't know what to say about this. It doesn't sound right. And somebody who is that willing to just go grab their gun and start shooting at somebody's house and accidentally kill somebody. We don't know if it was intentional or not, but you're shooting a gun where people are residing. So to me, that seems a bit intentional. You need to be off the streets.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers Podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.